So, welcome to the unboxing series where we talk with designers, creatives, and makers that are based in Africa and are creating amazing works of art through fashion. Today, we are talking to Winston Aguimon.
I get close
Aguimon.
right.
Sorry. Okay. Aguimon. And we are really excited to talk about your brand, Kwabo
It's
World.
Kwabo. Go by
Kwabo. Awesome. So I got the pleasure of wearing your fit
Kwabo.
today. Just getting to wear some of your designs because I sourced from you last year. And
Oh,
so I just wanted to talk to you, kind of talk about your experience as a designer, talk to you about how you're inspired and what your process is and all of that. So we're going to have a fun chat today.
yeah.
So
Right.
please go ahead and introduce yourself and the name of your brand again, and just we'll start getting into these questions.
Okay. So hi everyone. My name is Winston. Go by the name of Coffee. It's the name of my ethnical group in Togo because I'm from Togo and Benin. My dad is from Togo. My mom is from Benin, but I was born in West Indies in Martinique, a really beautiful island. And I'm the creator and designer of Kwabo. Kwabo means you're welcome in Fon, which is the language in Benin, the big language in Benin. So yeah, this is about me.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. So do you prefer to go by Winston or Kofi?
I love both, to be honest. Winston is what my parents called me,
Yeah.
and there's a story behind it, so I love it. And obviously, I'm really close to my roots, so it's also important for the coffee. So no, both is pretty good for me.
Okay. Okay, cool. But what should I call you? Like, should I call you Winston or Kofi? I prefer Kofi, of course,
Yeah,
but
I think when we were like exchanging through mail, I was like, my signature was coffee,
mhm,
so go with coffee.
I will call you Kofi. Okay. So if you could just tell me a bit about how you came up with Quabo, um, what was going on in your life at the time when you were inspired to create the brand, and just some of your background.
Yeah, okay. So it's a bit of a long story. At first, Kwabo was not a clothing brand, not at all. Kwabo was an event. I wanted to create some events, and I called it Kwabo because of the "You're welcome." And the goal behind it was like to awareness about our history before colonization. So really about ethnical groups, different ethnical groups, because well, obviously I'm living right now. I'm in Lomé. I spent some time also in France, and the diaspora in France. We like for a lot of people, we don't really are close by. Uh, it's not really close to the essence of our roots. We know about it, but like we don't go deeper. So me, at first, I wanted to create some events to like brunch to talk to people that we can like get around and talk about our story and everything. So it was my the first thing I wanted to do, but I'm really bad at organizing events, extremely bad. And I do love fashion. I always love fashion. So what I decided is like to mix it with fashion. So my goal was to create garment pieces that really tell a story and you can learn from it and want to discover more. So this is how Kwabo got around. And there's a lot of little things, even the logo, the logo represents, you can sign it on the label, it represents the door of no return.
Mm.
Film doors in the coast and in Africa, like sub-Saharan area. You can find it in Senegal, Benin,
Ghana. Mhm.
Ghana, yeah,
Mhm.
down to the coast, and Cameroon too.
Mhm.
And the one in Benin, it's in Ouidah, and this is the logo to really say that we all back, we came back to learn and everything. So it's the story behind the brand, and my inspiration, Loki, it's from everything around me. As someone who was born in an island and went after that to Europe, came back to my original country, Togo and Benin. I
Mhm.
learned a lot of different world from a lot of different world. I traveled a lot, so everything is my inspiration. I think it's important to have a really strong African base because it's who we are.
Yeah.
And it's also important to now, because yeah, now to merge other culture to our African based
Yeah.
by and to merge African to other culture, but like take what is around and see how we can, because it's already in our culture, but see how we can like mix it a little bit with little
Mhm.
details. So
Right.
yeah, this is what is behind my brand.
That's really amazing. That's really cool that you like started wanting to like connect community. Like you wanted to create a community of connection with like people who were in, you said France, right? And
Yeah,
then out of that was like the brand born. So I think that's really interesting. And I think like even your story wanting to infuse like African culture into your work and into the designs is really important. And that's really what I love to share through Adorn Me Africa is like it's an opportunity for education. And
exactly.
so when I talk about the pieces that we source, it's not just about clothing, it's not just about fashion. It's like there's stories like weaved into the pieces. So I love that like the roots of Kwabo was you wanted to create a community. Now I have a question like kind of stemming from that. So you're like you said you were bad at organizing events and so you got to create a brand out of it. Like, do you find that like now there is a community that's kind of formed, or do you feel like there's still a disconnect?
No, this I was pretty surprised because I thought it would take way more time. But thanks to because me, I'm the first student. I feel I see myself as a first student of my brand because
Mhm.
I learned a lot in 1 year. I learned
Yeah.
so much, like so much. And but other people we like talked, exchanged, and or they can talk to me through social media or like email address, or after they get a jacket they ask me question about it, and I saw that it's something that really worked, and it's community growing.
Right.
Obviously hopefully will keep growing, but yeah, it's a great journey. So it's I see it as a brand. Obviously, I see the brand and I see the clothing, but
Mhm.
I see what is behind, and I think it's what motivates me the most. Is like I learned, and people are getting interest, and more they get interest, and like it's for everybody. I want everybody to get interest because they will put more respect. To
Yeah.
be honest, I will like I just drive for respect, and I want people to understand how amazing, deep, and so talented uh, our continental, and
Yes.
the story of it
Yeah.
is greater than everything that I heard. It's amazing,
Yeah.
and there's thousands of ethnical groups, thousands of ethnical groups, even more, and they all have a great history.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's growing, and I'm pretty happy about it.
I love that. I connect with that so much because that's why I started Adorn Me Africa. Is like I got to speak to designers like you and just hear about like your stories and how you're learning in the process of creating your brand. So that's definitely what Adorn Me Africa is all about, is like as I'm learning about the brands and deepening my understanding of my Ghanaian culture and my heritage, I'm learning so much about other parts of Africa.
Mhm.
And that is like the best part because I get to like share what I'm learning. And so it's like people don't understand like how rich, like, I mean, some people get it, but like there's so much richness in the culture. And so like like I see how much can grow from just sharing these stories and how people can understand, or at least start to get an understanding of like of some of the background of like of where these designs and things come from. So that's really dope. um so like tell me a little bit, because like I know that like the piece I'm wearing now, it's made with wax print and
Yeah.
it's made with mud cloth as well.
Mhm.
But like typically, like I know that, so I know a little bit about the fact that you work with different materials based on different countries that you're engaged with and getting inspiration from. So can you talk a little bit about like the material you use and like where how you come to the the decision to use a particular textile and what have you.
Uh, First, I'll talk about like Bogolan, the mud cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is because the signification is extremely strong. In every Bogolan, you'll find signification symbols who mean something. Like
Mm-hmm.
the one wearing right now, normally it's like a little cross.
Yeah.
It means when there's different path crossing, in French, call it different, like cross of path. Yeah, the cross of path,
Right.
and which you're really gonna find a lot in Bogolan in different things. There is also the wax. I did use the wax because it's because in Togo and Benin, I don't know if you heard about the Nana bands.
No, I haven't. Tell me
Yeah,
about
Nana, it's the generation of women who took the wax and made like big businesses out of it.
it. Okay.
They really rich, and they could travel and do their own thing. So it was not the typical the before the wife would like stay at home and take care of the children. It was the
Mhm.
businesswoman. It was technically the economy of the country. So for me, it was important to acknowledge it and put it in front, because we have this little fight, we'll say, with wax saying that, yeah, it's not really from our countries because it was brought by a Westerner.
Yeah.
And I will say, because I was like that, so I was like, yeah, I was not really happy about it, but I
Yeah.
understood what he gave, what our woman was able to do with it, and what they were able to create
Uh-huh.
and give to the country. And they lived like all the generation of women who came after.
Yeah.
You can still see the grandmother, the little daughter was like have the grandmother. There was Nana bands, and thanks to that, they can like build their own business and do other things. So yeah, this is why I use in jackets and like kimonos, or I use wax because it's my little shout out to my mothers.
I love that.
And yeah, and like to as a shout out to the all the women who
Mm-hmm.
did work to lift out the country, and also just the idea of a woman being a businesswoman, a
Yeah.
business person. So it was really important for me.
Yeah.
So this is the second I use. The third fabric for my first collection, I use batik. It's a technique to dye clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not from originally from our coast from West Africa. It's from the some island in Asia,
Right.
but it came to West Africa, and obviously like we change it, we mix it with
Yeah.
our age and
Yeah.
our thing, and now it's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used it because I've always been fascinated with different technique on textile. I think it's really great what you can do with it. It's really amazing. So this is the third, yeah, this is the three fabric I use. And to go back on Bogolan, it's like it's a big thing for me. Every time I'm like, I want a little piece of Bogolan because it's also protection. There's a
Mhm.
lot of protection in Bogolan. Everything is handmade. And when you think about the fact that someone did your piece of Bogolan handmade and put signification symbols to protect it,
Mhm.
it's make it even stronger for me. So I really love to use Bogolan and cloth. It's it's deep. So yeah, I
Yeah,
like it.
that's really amazing. And I love that you talked about like the wax print and like the how people feel about it because I
Mm,
know like upset about like I was really like deeply offended when I started the brand was like how much wax print was coming from other places other than Africa,
yeah.
right? And so like so that's actually one of the reasons why like I focus on contemporary fashion brands that use other textiles outside of wax. And like
Mm,
your brand is actually one of the first brands that I brought in to Adorn Me Africa that uses wax because a lot of
yeah.
them are mud cloth, batik, and like fugu. But I I I saw something special in your work. And so it's so interesting because I had never heard the story about Nana Bend. And so
Mm,
even this is really exciting. And I'm gonna like I want to do more research and hear
so
about like this economy that was created by women that I'm learning about right now. So this is what gets me excited because I like the way that I've the relationship that I've had with wax print has been like based on that, that
mm,
colonial, the idea that so it helps and it's I appreciate, this perspective that I get to also, learn about now and hopefully share and then even maybe tap into that aspect of wax print. So that's really dope. Thank you for sharing that.
okay. I had the same thing. Like my friend who told me about it, I learned from it.
Yeah.
And before, like I hate these colonial things. We can do our own thing.
Mhm.
Like wax. All these people were in wax, and but I learned that there's also another story and
Right.
a lift. Still, it's a lift. If you do it well, I ain't gonna complain. So yeah.
That's dope. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about some of the challenges that you face. I mean, you talked about like you travel quite a bit.
Mhm.
Sometimes you lived in France. Right now you're in Lomé. You have roots in Togo and Benin. And so can you tell me a little bit about like some of the challenges that you faced and like what how you were able to overcome them in order to establish Kwabo and like get to where you are right now?
Mm. First, I would say you're still gonna be a bit of an outsider, you
Mhm.
know, in your taking in your country of origin. Which it was the first big challenge for me because to work and to create collection and just clothes, you have to like work closely with people to make to share the same vision. And obviously, there was a gap between us because we need to understand how we can work. Obviously, how we can work together without me working in a way that's not suitable for them and me finding something that's good. So it took some time. I learned a lot. They told me a lot. And but it was it was the first big challenge. I overcome it. A lot of communication, a lot of annoyment, and I'm not gonna lie, feel like breathe a lot. But yeah, it was amazing for this. Made me more mature, but also more. I could understand more my culture by it, and it's really good. The second was The fabrics, yeah, the fabrics, because you don't want. I I was always looking for something extremely real and true,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to go to the easiest path, which is right now, like for the Bogolan, I would say right now it's the fact that you can find wax with Bogolan prints, and I didn't want to use it because for me it was not really uh, the fabrics and the idea that I wanted to give. I wanted something like the way people can understand this is something that will last for years, and it's something that mean a lot.
Yeah.
So finding the fabrics was a bit of a trouble. Traveled, went to Burkina, which is obviously a great country. Went to
Mhm.
Burkina, Ghana, Benin, stay in Benin, Togo, find, look for people. And when you find it, when I found it, it went berserk. It was amazing. But yeah, it's a big challenge. You need to be okay with the fact that you're gonna look everywhere and you're gonna be a bit deceived sometimes, which is normal. And you're gonna be disappointed. After that, you're gonna be really excited. It's gonna be like a kind of a bipolar experience.
Yeah.
It's and the last I would say, because I'm really not into, it will be more showing my vision, make my vision like people can understand, because I don't talk a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't share that much. I try to be better. I do a better job now, but I don't share that much, and I need to share way more about what's happening, and not just for the brand, but what's happening everywhere around, like around me in Togo, in
Mhm.
Benin, everywhere I go,
Yeah.
because it's history. It's like it's really so this year, and I'm still trying to overcome it. So stay tuned. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I hear that. So how long now have you been working on Quabo? Like how long since you established
uh,
the brand?
as a fashion brand, I would say a bit. Huh. I started less than 2 years. Less than
Okay.
2 years. Less than 2 years. Did the first collection 1 year ago.
Okay.
Like just I think I finished the first collection one like in 3 days 1 year ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I did finish in 3 years 1 year ago, and yeah, it's pretty new, but it go really fast. Like this time, I finished my two next collections, so I'm like, yeah, it go pretty fast.
Yeah. So 2 years. Wow. So you've been able to accomplish launching a brand in 2 years. That's pretty impressive, I have to say.
Mm,
I know a lot of people who work on their brand for years and years. And I mean, of course, like you talked about like being a student in the
mm,
process where you're
yeah, yeah, yeah.
actually like learning and you're open to learn. You're not going in with like, okay, this is what I want and this is how it's going to go, but you're being a student of the process with the people that you're working with and the people that you're sourcing from and all of that. So that's a really important part of the process. Even, I relate to that a lot. So, so I want to ask you about like sustainability and what that means to your brand. Um, as you're sourcing fabrics that are from the continent, and I want to kind of get an understanding of like what sustainability means to Quabo and how you implement the importance of sustainability in the brand.
I would say it's pretty everything. It's the motto of the brand. Everything, most of the thing that I do, it's pretty like limited. It's really limited. I don't do a lot of clothes because I don't find it interesting, to be honest. I don't want to be like fast retail. I have like
That's right.
10, 20, this 20 t-shirt, like 20 jacket, exactly the same.
Right.
I always say that even when I was little, if I saw a t-shirt, 10 t-shirt, 10, the same t-shirt, I
Yeah.
was like, nah, I don't want it. So it's really, for me, it's really like this. the good thing is like the fabrics that I choose helped because, like, as an example, to do a jacket, I need well to do a jacket, I need a big cloth of bogolin, and this cloth of bogolin gonna help me to do like maybe two jackets, but that's it. So there's only two jackets gonna be the same.
Right.
It's unique pieces, and that's it. It's never gonna be this like it's never gonna be the same because I don't do the exactly the same design, the same balloon every time. So it's never gonna be again. And this is what I love. It's like you're gonna get this jacket and maybe somewhere else in the other part of the world will get this jacket. It's only the 2% in this world with this
Yeah.
jacket. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's really important. And it show I give like a big message as what it's not something that you can take lightly. It's a piece. It's a piece. Every time I say like it's a piece of history,
Mhm.
uh, not because it's Kwabo and everything, but because there's people in their country, in their home, who took the time and takes times to do it
Yeah.
and to bring it. After that, there's tailors who took time to like sew it,
Mm.
handmade, and all this. And so yeah, it's really important for me. And first for the brand, but also for myself because buy I don't buy a lot of things. I prefer make it. I keep my clothes. The only thing I will buy is like basics, you know. But that's it. I think it's really important, and we not our education is not to waste, so we don't waste.
Right.
And it's something that's really big in our continent. We don't
Mhm.
waste for what? It's not just because most of people think we don't waste because it's not a lot of money.
Mhm.
It's billionaires who don't waste.
Yeah.
They wait. Like it's our education. We don't waste. We share. We don't waste, and we fix. Everything is fixable. If it's not fixable, okay, maybe we will go. But so yeah, this is why for me it's really important. And I don't tend to brands with like fast retailing. It's not really something that I can rely on.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good to hear. And I love how you talk about like how you create such small quantities of pieces because of what goes into that process. And not only is your artistry in there, but also the work that goes into the creation of it and the making of the textile and how long that takes and all of that. So there's so many layers of like of richness of the culture and care that goes into it. And it makes every piece just even more special in that way. So I can really appreciate that. So tell me, random, what is your favorite dish? Explain it to me. Where is it from? Like, talk to me about like your favorite top.
favorite dish. Huh. It's hard, yo. I love food. I love food. Food is everything for me. Uh, I ain't gonna lie, food is everything. My favorite dish, right now, what is amazing. I can tell you exactly where you can find it. For me, it's the
Okay.
best. Is I would say like yeah in French, but after that I would translate in English. It's foutu de banane with wangash and sauce arachide,
Okay.
which is foutu, plantain foutu. So it's like a fufu. It's like a fufu, but like with the banana,
Uh-huh.
which is amazing. After that, one gash is like it's some cheese because I'm vegetarian,
Okay.
and it's cheese from Senegal. No, it's pole, so it's a bit everywhere. And a peanut butter sauce.
Mm.
And you do like my favorite, it's Senegalese dish. But you put it with the fufu and it's bomb. And
It
obviously
sounds
like
bomb. So you're making me
It's
hungry now.
I, last time I ate with my cousin, we didn't talk, like we couldn't talk. We just like that's the so
Uh,
yeah, right like this right now I'm now yeah,
now you're
now it's
dreaming
this.
about it.
You can see I was like, oh yeah, right now it's this. And because my mom do it so well, I would say gumbo.
Mhm.
Gumbo is wow. Gumbo
Okay.
is yeah. This gumbo is also everything. So yeah, my two favorite dish.
Okay. So when I come to Togo, you're gonna have to
Yeah, yeah.
direct me
I
where
told
I
you
can
last time.
find. I know,
Yeah,
I know. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. So we're gonna have to, you're gonna have to take me to get some of this amazing food because you just made me hungry.
yeah, I know.
Food is life. Yes. Okay. All right. So tell me about um I mean, you've already kind of like built on this, like what is so unique about your brand. But like, what would you say like sets you apart from other brands that are coming out of Africa right now? Because there's a lot of people who are creating brands. And I think like I know what I saw when I found your brand and what made me want to source from you. But like tell me, um, like from your perspective, what kind of sets you apart in the conversation about African fashion?
Ah, it's really hard because I'm like I'm a crazy fan of so many African designer.
Yeah.
Like I'm just extremely amazed by the work. So what is putting me apart? Uh, I would say nobody have my vision because nobody is me.
Yeah.
Basically.
There you
So
go.
with a unique vision, obviously, because we're all different. And but the thing that I love is that all want to bring story. We
Yeah.
all want to bring story. It's like the storytelling of the brands that I see from African designer is it's really amazing.
Mhm.
They have a lot. There's a lot of brands that really amaze me. Even in Togo, there's like a brand. I don't know if you know Bazawa Pine. It's
I'm familiar.
and it's like also the storytelling behind it, how we started. It's something really big.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all like the storytelling behind it. It means something. For me, it means something. So for me, what it makes my brand unique is like the will that I have behind it, the vision, what I want to see, and also because this is my only thing, something that I love is I love workwear. I love unisex. I love unisex clothes
Yeah.
because for me it's makes sense. It makes really sense, and that's something that I really do everything to push, even way more in my upcoming collection because I think it should be totally normal. So also, yeah, it's something that I do that I don't see everywhere. It's like men or women, it's exactly the same. I'm like woman, men, women, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Uh, like I don't, to be honest, I don't care. Whatever you're gonna register, it's like you can wear it and be proud of what you wear.
Yeah.
So this is my end goal too. This is also my end goal. I want also to break this uh these different categories,
Mhm.
can
Mhm.
maybe like yeah, all these categories now, everybody can wear everything.
Yeah,
So
right.
that's good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I love that. A lot of the brands that we work with do like androgynous unisex pieces because like you said, it just makes sense. Like so I love that about your vision and your uniqueness. Tell me like some of the designers that you're inspired by that you're looking that you're excited about and that you're looking at.
oh okay. So since like a long time, uh I was really fan of Daily Paper.
Okay.
I was fan of Daily Paper.
Yeah.
Uh they got big, so obviously they produce way more.
Hmm.
Uh, it's I guess it, for me like somewhere where you get like extremely big, you have to produce way more, so it's normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always they always stay true to
Yeah.
their goal and what they do in Ghana. And so that's really nice. And they bring really the culture behind it.
Yeah.
They not try to show where they're from, and they're really proud of it and show it. So
Hmm.
this is always been something strong for me. Um, of a brand is I'm gonna rep some Togolese brand. This is Bazarapan, obviously. There's another brand, GYD, Studio, which is extremely interesting. Which one? Which one I love. After that, yeah, there is it's Ghanaian too. It's Michael T. Michael T is based in Norway, and it's something that yeah I really enjoy. His vision, Fucking Boy Tang to Adama, if you know her from Senegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Like I found, to be honest, I found like inspiration, and I'm amazed by a lot of things making. So yeah, and I know I did. I just said like maybe 5% of the people there. I know. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But
Mhm.
thank you for sharing. I also love Adama. That's
Mhm.
a brand that I definitely like followed even before I started doing the Africa. And so I'm always like,
Yeah, the vision is interesting. Man. The vision
beautiful,
is
yeah,
really
beautiful pieces. So another random, what music do you love? What do you work to? We could
it
take for the
depends of the
day.
moment. Huh? Yeah, depend of the moment though. I listen to a lot of different type of music. I think this is the privilege of being around a lot of different people in the different places.
Yeah.
Um, obviously, I love compa.
Mhm.
It's life.
Yeah.
I love Afrobeat, obviously, and piano. South African music is
Fire.
amazing.
Yeah.
I love traditional music.
Mhm.
Uh, Shout out to Angelique Kodjo,
Mhm.
whoever else. But also, yeah, also I'm gonna listen to obviously a lot of hip hop, jazz a lot. And right now to work, I listen to a lot of Buena Vista Social Club, the Cuban group,
Mhm.
because that is a humongous fan. And since I know my dad, I was listening to it. So right now, yeah, I'm in this vibe. Waking up in the morning, do some, some good move and walk on it. So yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so you've lived in so many different places. You travel quite a bit now. What would you say is like the most like the place that if you had to stop traveling and you had to stay in one place, where do you think that place would be if you had to choose?
Oh, uh, can I say an area? Because it's hard
Yeah,
question.
sure.
I would say, well, obviously, I love in West Africa because, but the thing is, like, I don't know the parts. To be totally honest, is like I think the land uh, I've been the most is Africa, sub-Saharan.
Hmm.
Uh, it's so big. You don't believe what you see on the map. It's so big.
Yeah.
So it's take a lifetime. It would take a
Yeah.
lifetime. Because even in Lome, every time I'm amazed. It's been a while. Like I know the city. I know, but every time I'm amazed, I will be in the street and be like, whoa, like I just discovered something else. And it's amazed me while I never been in the country or the city. So yeah, for me, I know that it's sub-Saharan, the area. I know it's where I'm gonna where I'm gonna stay. I know. I just now, like you said, I need to find the proper place.
Yeah,
You also need to find your own place. But
mhm.
yeah, continent, sub-Saharan, that's life. That's everything.
I feel
And
that. I feel
it's
that.
too much. It's too much to explain. It's like there's
Yeah,
inspiration everywhere. There's talent everywhere.
yeah,
Like in my state, there's at least 15 people want to create something. I would just be like, yo, just because you don't have the platform.
mm,
Uh, Amazing. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I love that. I always say like I don't know where I'm gonna end up, like where I'm gonna live out the rest of my life, but I know it will be in Africa. Um, I know that like now that I get to like travel and I get to see more places, like I feel like I'm just kind of like as I'm exploring, I'm kind of doing like recon on like where I want to live eventually because it's just like when I'm there, I'm just like you said, there's so much. You're always finding new pockets of
Yeah.
places and there's like so much in those little yeah. I think that like a big part of like what I feel like is my mission with Adorn Me Africa is to create a curiosity for Africa. Like more people need to be curious about traveling to Africa, like African food, African culture. Um, and so like if I can like spark some curiosity in a person that walks into our shop, like mission accomplished because like I'm ever curious and I'm always
Mm.
hungry to learn more and so I love that about about your
Uh,
process. So
exactly how I feel. Like what
yeah,
you said, curiosity is everything. For
yeah,
me, it's how I live. It's about curiosity. I don't have limits. I
yeah,
just have curiosity. So
yeah.
what you said is exactly like, yeah, thanks. It's
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
That's it.
and it's like you can't contain it. Like there's so much. There's so much. Like Africa is so huge. There's so much. You can't capture all of it. So it's just like if I can like pull in like, okay, like a flavor, if it's food or like a color, if it's textile or if it's like jewelry or whatever it is. It's just like if I can just share a taste of that with someone, then like that's the goal. So I appreciate that. All right. So what what project so far, because you've been doing this about 2 years now, you said, what project do you think is like your most significant work like so far? Like what are you the most proud of? Like and maybe you haven't even like produced it yet, you know. But like, you know, what do you think thus far is your most like
For
significant
me,
work?
I didn't produce it. It's not out there yet. It's something that for me is like the real goal of Kwabo.
Yeah.
Is like to create yeah, to be able to create garment or like pieces align with the origin of the client.
Mhm.
Uh, my goal is because I have a lot of friends in US and we came to this discussion about like where we from, and it's different with people born in different place. Obviously, I know where I'm from. I
Right.
know that my parents typically from Togo
Right.
and Benin, so I know where to go.
Yeah.
But my friends are like, I did a test and they say I'm Nigerian. I'm from Niger. I
Yeah.
did a test. They're like, oh yeah, I'm from Ghana and stuff like this.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, the problem is like a test not gonna give you like the not
Right.
the, I know the street cred, but like they said like, oh yeah, I'm from there.
Right.
So my goal was to create pieces to uh, align with the ethnic of the group,
Mm.
and that way they can like at least learn by. Like it's like a walk of accept and also like discover, be curious, like you said, be curious about where you're from and be like totally um you know secured about it.
Yeah.
Not be like dodgy, say like, oh, I'm from there, but no, I'm just Afro-American and that's it. If I'm from US and that's it.
Mhm.
Because obviously you're from US, but there's also something also behind, you know.
Right. Right.
So this is my big project that I'm really proud of because it's totally aligned with the type of person that I am, and also it empowered us.
Mm-hmm.
Stay empowered us because the more we know,
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be fooled. More we know. Every time it's like more we know. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. You had also talked about like earlier in our conversation, you talked about how like because you've traveled so much and because you were born in a certain place and because you may not have like the traditional upbringing of somebody who's from where you're from, like,
Mhm.
and how like sometimes you don't necessarily connect with like people who were born there the same way, right? You kind of have to like you kind of have to to like submit to the process
Mhm.
because you like you're not from there like that. And I know like I've always felt like this in between, right?
Mhm.
Where like I'm American, I was born here, but my parents are both from Ghana. Um, and so I'm not American enough, but I'm also not Ghanaian enough. And so I'm just like, where do I belong? But like I mean I identify most with my Ghanaian culture because like when I touch down, like I feel this deep rooted connection that I can't deny, right? And like I appreciate America for what it is, um, but like home is just like in your heart, it's in your soul. And so like talk to me about like, you know, what your
Experience.
experience has been like.
Yeah, my experience was a bit. I was frustrated, to be totally honest,
Yeah.
because I was not. I wanted, like you said, we were always in between. Me, when I was in Europe, when I am sometime in Europe, I'm like, I know that I'm not home.
Yeah.
Like my home is just a flat that I own, but that's it. I know everywhere I'm not home.
Yeah.
Uh, and most of the people like they make you feel like you're not home.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like when I was going to Togo to Benin,
Yeah.
I will be whatever everybody like I will be at home. I
Yeah.
will see everywhere people will look like me,
Right.
and I will be everybody gonna accept me because we're the same.
Right.
And yeah, I was frustrated because it's not like this, obviously, because we have to understand, something that understand not too long ago that we're not the same because we didn't grow up in the same place. And it takes a lot to acknowledge this
Yeah.
because we have this fantasy thinking that as Black people, African, because we're African, but as Black people, we're just gonna click and it's always like it's the same culture, which is
Yeah.
extremely dumb.
Yeah.
African
It's not true at all.
culture is East Africa is totally different.
Right.
So you have this feeling like, yeah, obviously, like we all gonna know. So it took me a bit of time. I was a bit frustrated. I understood, and I was like, I came to the end saying like, as a diaspora, home is where I find it.
Yeah.
Technically, I can find home everywhere
Mhm.
because I've been, like I said, I have my African base and my roots African, and it's like a tree. It's African, but the branch there's also other cultures.
Right.
I've been like influenced by American culture, Asian culture,
Mhm.
European culture.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's I'm like kind of a prototype and an hybrid or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's different. I think it's a bit different when you go to a different country. I know that in Ghana it's gonna be a bit different for me because it's a bit more, I would say, open.
Mhm.
Uh, First tattoos, okay. Uh, Being Lome, my tattoos, they like,
Look at you like you're, yeah, like
like,
you're an alien.
yeah, like, where you from with it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all process, but I think it's also an if like everybody need to do 50-50. It's an effort. People coming here, we need to understand that first we come from somewhere else, and so we need to adapt and also do whatever, like source ourselves and try to don't disrespect, because there's some people can feel disrespected
Yeah.
by normal behavior for us, and we're gonna feel disrespected for by normal behavior for
Right.
people living there. So it's like, communication. And like I said, home is everywhere. It's where we choose
Mhm.
to if I say like my home's gonna be Cameroon, or gonna be Ghana, which is kind of nice. It's gonna be Zanzibar, or like Somalia. Yeah, that's it. It's my home if
Yeah.
I feel comfortable. So,
Yeah, that's absolutely. I feel like I identify with a lot of what you said, just because like I feel like because of my unique experience and how I've lived my life and that sort of thing, I go into, places like Ghana, and even though I feel a deep connection, I feel like I'm also bringing my own learning to the people that connect with me, and also being teachable and listening to their experience. And that 50-50 exchange is really important, just in general, and not just like holding so tightly onto your own that you're not able to grasp anything else. So I feel that. So just a couple more questions. But this has been a really, really amazing conversation so far. I love that. So your own personal fashion, like talk to me about what your staple pieces. You talked about sustainability, you talked about like how you kind of keep your own wardrobe very minimal because you're not into fast fashion and all of that waste that takes place in the fashion industry. So talk to me about what your staple go-to piece is, one of your favorite pieces that you own.
okay, I'm a big minimalist, which is like people don't try to don't understand, because obviously when you work with African fabrics,
Yeah.
everybody's so it's gonna be like extremely colorful. Like it's gonna be like a lot of color. I love the
Yeah.
color. I
Yeah.
love the color. Extremely minimalist. I love monochrome. I
Yeah.
love monochrome. It's
Yeah.
like so my go-to piece, yeah, will be an all black thing. It will be like all black. Like if you see the
Everything.
rack when I clean my stuff, it's all black. Even if I love all black, but I would say if it's not my brand,
Yeah.
I would say a Dickies pants, the workwear,
Yeah.
the large one. I with yeah, some nice t-shirt of and yeah, nice jacket, like a rain jacket, all black. I kind of like this, something large and
Yeah.
really straight.
Hmm.
Um, oh yeah, I like the well. After that, it's most of the thing I wear is my brand. The thing I do, because also I do things for myself also. Like
Yeah. Of
I
course.
need to please me, so I do wear part of my brand. It's gonna be like, yeah, monochrome suits, uh, and yeah, the only colorful I'm a bit colorful, but just for the socks. I have a strong sock game, but that's it.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
maybe a lot of all black. I think, yeah, when we saw each other I was like all black.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's all black.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, when people go on your social media, they will see like you're either in Kwabo or
It's
you're in Black. So I feel that. I feel
yeah,
that. But like Black is so easy. Like Black is
yeah,
you don't have to think too hard about it. So I
yeah,
appreciate that about it. And I
yeah,
think
that's
I'm
good.
kind of stepping outside my comfort zone in like recent years where I'm not wearing as much Black and I'm trying to integrate other colors and patterns and stuff like that. But my comfort zone is still all Black everything. So I feel you.
Like, yeah, it's too good. But yeah, yes.
All right. So a little bit on the like personal side. So how do you say that you stay grounded? How do you like when you're not necessarily like designing and working on your brand? How do you relax? How do you take care of yourself? What is your self-care like routine? Like, what does that look like in your life?
My self-care routine, it's every morning thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like maybe more than 2 years that I'm doing it. It's every morning meditation
Yeah.
between 10 to 20 minutes, um, finishing by honoring my ancestors. It's
Yeah.
always go by honoring my ancestors, honoring the nature for the life, honoring the universe for the opportunity,
Mhm.
honoring my family, my friends, and the people that help me and give me strength, even people I don't know. And after that, thanking myself to make it all, because everything this is in me. So
Yeah.
this is, and after that, a little workout. This is how I start my day
That's good.
every day. Every day. Like I think I went to a point as like it was needed, and this is what make me get up and go get some stuff. So yeah, or just after that chill, but yeah, it make me feel good.
Yeah.
And when I don't design, well, when I remember like 6 months ago, I was really I had no inspiration. I wanted just to let it let it flow and don't think about it.
Mhm.
So I work on the side because I'm a programmer. So
Okay.
so do this, and I created a podcast in the same kind of the same spirit of Kwabo. On like talking with people from everywhere, diaspora, people was born in Africa, in the continent, and stay in their country. Talk about all different subjects, how we see life, different of culture to learn from each other. So yeah, I did that the first 2 months. After that, went back hard on Kwabo.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Self-care is really important. I know that sometimes we can just get so wrapped up in what we're doing that we kind of burn out. We don't even realize we're exhausted. And then you just like sit down for a second and you're just like, wow, I need to rest. And so I find myself now that I'm doing this, I'm managing Adorning Africa full time. I'm finding myself like trying to figure out what my routine looks like again because it's different now that I'm I'm managing my all of my time. Um and so like I understand that like my morning um routines are like I have my prayer and meditation time and then like work out as well. And then like everything after that is like phone calls and like I'm on my computer for like hours. And then like I have to cut off the computer at a certain time and like show my husband my face because sometimes he forgets that like or sometimes I forget that he exists because because I'm so busy like looking at my computer and doing my work. And so like I just have to like be better about like boundaries and setting time for certain things and the people that are important. So that's really important.
Yeah, it's really really important. It's
Yeah.
hard to do though, but like respect to do it because I know it's the like what you do and what you create is like it's not something easy. Like we see the results, so you're like, oh, okay, cool. but what is behind is like an everyday also. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, awesome. So last question for you. What would you say you want your lasting impact to be of your fashion brand? Like, what like mark do you want to leave on the fashion world with Kwabo?
Um, I want to live respect. I want like just people like who discovered stuff through Kwabo to like, I don't know, go somewhere,
Yeah,
just see a pattern or like even see like just a symbol. Say like, hey, this means family. This means this is Mami Wata. This is this is love. This is respect. This is like path. It's like I want people to be through Kwabo to be able to remember uh, what was created. It's still there.
yeah,
And as an example, uh, I'm gonna name a brand that I'm not so into, but like this, I want people like if the people learn about what we do and what our ancestors did, what our ancestors did,
yeah,
they will not when other brand kind of steal it or like take advantage of it. They're not gonna say, "Oh, they created." It's like,
yeah.
"Oh, I know this. This is Kente. This
Mhm.
is Dog." And oh yeah, obviously it's not Hermes who created this pattern. It was there. And this is
Yeah,
for me just giving back what our ancestors deserve. What they created is amazing.
yeah,
It's not just for the fabrics, but all the artifacts that we can find everywhere, but in our lands.
yeah,
Just be like getting the rocket the applause that we deserved, the applause that we deserved. So I think yeah, it's to me, it's my like really something really important for me. Um, and people like feel comfortable in it, feel comfortable to wear it also,
yeah,
not just wear some African print for occasion, but like just go and be totally comfortable working it in a normal day.
yeah,
I think it was a lot
yeah,
because it's something that I went through, and now I can wear it easily. It will be on a Monday, on a Wednesday. I have nothing to do outside. I'll just wear it. I feel like extremely like it's normal.
mhm,
It's I want to say to people it's normal to wear
yeah.
a thing
It's every
just to
day. Mhm.
it's totally normal. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Um, and I think part of the reason I also choose to well, it's when I started, I chose um other other textiles, like working with designers that work with other textiles is because um I want people to not only to see the diversity of it, but just to be able to integrate it into everyday wardrobe.
Mm,
And so I appreciate that. But I mean, even I feel like we kind of see that with people's um with how they style like wax print now even, and how they style different types of fashion that is from Africa. So I really appreciate your perspective on that. And I really appreciate this conversation. This has been so good. Kofi.
it's really nice.
This
I
was
really
this was one of my favorites. I
like
learned a lot, and I'm leaving this conversation with a desire to learn more. So I'm really grateful for your time, sharing your time with us. And can you just shout out your IG, how people can kind of connect with you, see your work, see your brand, see your monochrome looks.
Obviously. So you can see my brand on Instagram, obviously. Name is Kwabo, so Kwabo World.
Yeah.
And yeah, through this you can see everything. And obviously you can, if you do a little bit of creep, you can find me. Yeah. And a little bit of food. There too.
Yeah,
And yeah, it is a lot coming, a lot of different things coming,
yeah.
and yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. That's coming.
I'm excited. I'm excited for what you have to come. And also for those watching, you can find some of Kofi's pieces from Kwabo at Adorn Me Africa on our in our shop and on our website as well. So thank you so much.
Amazing. We should go. Amazing shop. We should go.
Yes, yes, tell them. And one day you have to come, you have to come and
Yeah,
come visit.
Loki, will. I think I will. I plan to go in US in 2022 for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will definitely come.
Yes,
Definitely.
please, please do. Well, thank you again. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
This
you
was
to
awesome.
organize this. It was really nice. Like I really, really appreciate it. It's really, really nice.
Awesome. Well, have an amazing day, and I will chat with you later.
Ah, bye.
Bye.